Y'all'll never know about all the places me and my people about to go. Yo, don't be mad at my progress. Put in the work, now I'm simply the best. You nerd.
Hey man, this is the 24-hour network radio. That's Bennie Owens, you know what I mean? Bennie Owens still playing in the background right now, something like a pimp. But that was my progress, one of my favorite tracks that I actually got right now to submit it to the 24-hour network radio. And as you all know, we will continuously get more hot music from the artists that we work with on the 24-hour network radio. And Bennie Owens, once again, is from Richmond, California, really representing. And we got him live once again on the show. And it's a pleasure to have you once again on the show with us today, Bennie.
Man, it's always a pleasure to be on the show, man. I appreciate your progress. I could definitely respect it, and I enjoy listening to the 24-hour network, indeed.
Indeed. That's what's up, Brody. So tell us a little bit, once again, about your career. This is like the second time we actually had you on the show. We know for a fact that you have 17 albums. Tell us a little bit about your albums, and once again, let everybody know where they can be able to go locate them at.
Well, everything, I'm pretty much a digital distribution type of guy, because I'm an engineer first and an artist second. I just pretty much do all the music because I can, and it's like I use myself as the guinea pig, to utilize my engineering, and I live at the studio, so I just do it, drop it on iTunes pretty much like that. So everything is available on iTunes, and, I've been at it for about first time I rapped was about 25 years ago at the elementary school, Stige Elementary School. I was doing Black History raps, gospel raps, things of that nature. And then through the years, it just progressed. We always used to freestyle under the red light, my buddy smoking weed and whatnot. And then we ended up with a 4-track machine, and then we ended up with an 8-track machine. And before you know it, here comes this studio, and then here comes some college behind it, and the thirst for knowledge. And then before you know it, it ended up 18 albums, 19 actually. And then who knows where the time went after that. It just was having fun, living life, and before you know it, it just kept going. So you got to always chase your dreams because they do come true.
Now, I got a pretty good question that I want to ask, and the reason why I want to ask this because I know it was something that actually motivated you at this in particular time. Tell everybody what actually got you interested in getting in school and taking the classes towards the music career that you're pursuing as well. It was something that actually triggered you to start taking classes. Could you share that with everyone?
Yeah, well, it was two different, because this is my second time going to school, and, both times, I'll be honest with you, I want to say it's God, but it was two, bad incidents, actually. Two bad incidents. It's ironic to me how life, it makes you, good things come out of bad situations. So the first time I started school, I was starving, I was hungry, I was on the bus to go get me some food stamps and some GA, you know what I mean? Because I was starving. I had a little studio in my apartment, but I wasn't making no money. I had just bought the studio and I wasn't that good. And I got on the bus, and the bus, before it got to the GA office or the food stamp office, it just happened to stop at DVC. And I said, well, let me go ahead and check out this school. Maybe I can get some financial aid instead of some food stamps. And then I got off the bus, and I was the last enrollee at the last 5 minutes of late registration before the teacher closed his enrollment, and I ended up in that class, and within that first day, I learned 100 new things, came home, started charging people $15 an hour. Now, this particular time, I had an instance, some street issues with some haters or whatever, some cats that didn't like to see what I was doing, and I got robbed or whatever, and then that kind of transcended me away from that lane, and it kind of, through God, put me right down the street from the college. And then I went to the college, and I looked inside the MIDI lab, and I said in my brain, this is where I'm supposed to be. And the ironic thing about that is today I'll be going in that same room, running the whole room, sitting in there by myself, clicking every button at my discretion. So I just look at it as this God, putting me where I need to be through some bad situations.
And once again, it all adds up to your progress as the track that we just played. Right prior to starting this interview, you know what I mean? It all goes back to that. And so, I actually asked that because throughout our last interview, that was something that you had keyed in on. And I know it'll be a lot of individuals that be listening in that be going through various things in life, and sometimes they might be out of pocket and not being able to sustain adequate income, as you said you was at that in particular time. And like you said, you was trying to go get some general assistance, GA, and you, fortunately for you, you was able to, instead of getting a GA check to whereas you maybe only get some change for up to 3 months, you was able to get a couple $1,000s, and at the same time be able to do something that you're passionate about and learn how to create music. And from there, that's how the 17 albums came, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's a bet. Now, at this time, tell everybody how they could be able to go via the internet or different sites like that to where they could be able to check out some of your music. You know, we know that you talked about iTunes, but I'm pretty sure you may have other outlets and resources available for individuals to get in contact with you at. Share that with them at this time.
Let's see. Twitter is at Bennie Owens, BennieOwens 2003. That's at Bennie Owens 2003 on Twitter. And my Facebook is Bennie Lee Owens, and Bennie is always with an I-E, not a Y, BennieLeeOwens. And then CD Baby, the music is actually cheaper if you want to purchase it on CD Baby than iTunes. It's $5.99 on iTunes. It's $9.99. So CD Baby / Bennie Owens, and let's see, Reverb Nation / Bennie Owens, and SoundCloud / Bennie Owens. That's about it. And like I said, it's BennieOwens, and everything is pure hard work and full integrity.
Indeed. Now, Bennie, at this time, I would like for you to tell us a little bit about this hot track that we're going to be playing shortly, Something Like a Pimp. Tell us how did this track actually come about?
Well, that's actually one of my favorite songs, and it's kind of funny. I mean, to keep it all integrity, it was one day I had a little young girl at my house. You feel me? And she was probably legal 18 though, right? And I was about 30 or something. Yeah. And I was just in there having her sing. I was fake tricking the studio a little bit, like, I ain't gonna lie. And as she was sitting there singing the hook or whatever, it kind of poured out the situation. But then at the same time, I was yoking another little youngster who was always acting like a pimp, you know what I mean? And I kind of used two different situations. I'm upgrading myself, and then I'm yoking the youngster who, think he a pimp, and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a bunch of different emotions going on in that, though, but music is emotion, so it turned out to be pretty dope.
Exactly, and it's amazing that you said music is emotions. Everything involved in music comes from an emotion. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even when the beats is being made, it was an emotion that the individual producer who produced it, that in particular track, was having when he was putting it together. The artist who had what they call it, an overlay, because you is in those classes, and as you know, I'm in some of those classes too. The overlay that they actually put with the vocal over the track, you know what I mean, has emotions because the actual vocalist and the artist have to express it a certain way, whether the pitch is high or low. So those are emotions as well. So I completely understand, man. Tell us about your plans for 2013. It's slowly approaching, or should I say fastly approaching. We're closing in on 2012. Tell us about Bennie Owens' plans for 2013.
Well, as I get older and start to get these gray hairs on top of my head, I'll start to look at life and music in a broader horizon. Like now I can see music is bigger than hip-hop and rap music. So my head is down, I got my helmet and my shoulder pads square, and I'm running straight into this degree, this recording arts degree. That's all I want. I don't care about dropping no albums this time no more. And I want my degree, bro, and I just want to build me a big super studio where all my folks can come through, and I want to build a legacy studio. I want to build the studio that P. Diddy got, and up here Dr. Dre them got. I gotta have it, and I'm not gonna stop until I get it. So I'm taking donations. I'm trying to have fundraisers. Work at Taco Bell, whatever I gotta do workstations in there, video, editing room, green room. We gotta have it. You feel me? That's it. That's all. I don't know nothing else. I'm getting older now, so I gotta chase my dreams with authority.
Hey, I completely commend you on chasing a dream. You know what I mean? I know what it is to wake up and had an idea that you done slept on, and come to find out you so much really enthused with this idea. You done woke up and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you figuring out the proper steps that you gonna have to take to achieve said goal that you just thought of 20 minutes ago. So you know, and then taking all the steps to achieve it, and formulating a plan to see that it all come together is another aspect of just what I call creative thinking and being able to network and make shit happen. So that's just truly a blessing to be able to know that you got a goal and you're not gonna stop until you achieve it. I know for a fact any individual that come from where I come from, Richmond, California, that's as serious and dedicated as you are about what you're doing, you're not going to stop until you achieve your goal, and you're going to have your goals met within a certain time period because you know what you got to do to make it happen. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to be a part of the legacy studio that you're talking about. I want to be one of the first individuals to come in and lay some tracks down, whether, you know, I really don't do too much rapping, but I could create some commercials. I could do my radio show from in there live from time to time. And hey, whatever I could do to be able to help make it happen, it's all good. You got the 24-hour network radio vote.
Nah, it's all good. I appreciate it.
That's a bet. Now, we also played My Progress, and I told you that's my hottest track that I really, really love. And it's another hot track, you know what I mean, that I got right here. But for some reason, I don't know if it's Purple Powder and Pills, which I think it is. Tell us about the hot track, Purple Powder and Pills.
Well, Purple Powder and Pills is like my baby. Like that's my first off my first album, Polite Pimpin', when I was really deep in the game then, and I was selling Purple Powder and Pills at the time. I had a one-stop drop shop. You feel me? You come on in, get what you need, and get on. You know what I mean? But like that was my first hot song, and then that was the first time. It's ironic too because coming from where we come from, that Richmond, Lil Rick, we all grew up as Lil Rick fans. He was like one of the first hottest artists out. And then that was my transition from becoming a fan of Lil Rick to working with Lil Rick. So to me, that song is very special because that's when like I said, went from being a fan to being respected enough in the music industry for my idol damn near to come and want to get on my song with me. So that's what makes that song so special. And like I said, just the ideology behind it is simple. Player had Purple Powder and Pills at the time. You know, that was about 10, 12, 15 years ago. I don't even remember how long ago that was, but, you know, it was a one-stop shop.
Yeah, exactly. And I can dig it. You know what I mean? I mean, if anybody know I can dig it, I know you do. You know what I mean? Cause yeah, you know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is. This Bennie Owens on the 24-hour network radio with your main man, E-Fees. I want everybody right now to stay zapped in and tapped into the 24-hour network radio. Rich City, stand up. You feel me? I got one of the finest. Hey, you know when we was talking last time, Bennie, you said something that was so unique that I really got to bring it up again right now myself. It's a lot of people that might not know about Bennie Owens, but then once again, as you said, their greatest rapper that's from Richmond, California, might not even have 17 albums. Tell us a little bit about that and how you feel about that.
I mean, you know, I feel like I'm the greatest rapper that you never heard about, you know what I mean? Because I'm seldom seen, but I'm often heard, you know what I mean? Because I went through so many different things in my life where I stay out of harm's way, meaning you don't catch me hanging on blocks and corners and things like that, because I stay out of harm's way. You can call it what you want, but I really be trapped in the studio, you feel me? And you know, also, I always had the luxury of living at the studio, you feel me? I mean, one time I had the studio, wasn't at the house, but ever since I've had the lab, I sleep in the lab, so I got an unfair advantage on some cats, and then I'm the engineer, so it's not like I'm waiting on somebody else. You know what I mean? But like I said, much love to the Lil Ricks, my idols, the La Rules, and all that. And they raw and they hot, and I love them to death, and they doing their thing. But I wrap circles around players, man. I ain't gonna lie. You see, like I said, I got an unfair advantage though, maybe because I live at the lab. But at the same time, let's do the album count. You feel me? Do the album count. They ain't even gave mine a chance. You feel me? But they there though. It's all good. And like I said, I really got 20 though. One of them is in Q. It's 19. It's 4 compilations though. You feel me? But at the same time, 15 Bennies, 4 compilations, and then me and Lil Rick album is actually in Q. I just ain't paid for it yet. You know what I mean? I'm letting his little album run right now. And then, so I really got 20. You know, in comparison to all them other cats, man. You know, love them though. But you know, give Benny O the chance. Make best thing going. That's what they ain't on.
Indeed, indeed. This is Bennie Owens. You feel what I'm talking about? One of Rich City's finest. You know what I mean? Hey, tell us a little bit about where did the original passion for music come from? You know what I mean? Where did it come from? Was it like another family member that may have been involved in music that made you feel that this is something that you really want to do? Where was that important turning point or what have you to let you know that this is something that you really want to do?
It's simple. That's simple. Michael Jackson Thriller. You feel me? To where it's a Michael Jackson Thriller, and of course my mama. Like you probably wasn't born yet back then, no. But my mama, she went to CC College. She was in all the music classes, the drama classes, the acting classes, and we was poor, so she couldn't afford no babysitter. So luckily, she then there was dating a teacher or something, so it was cool to bring her son to class. You feel me? I would find ways to entertain myself in the theater, in the piano room. My mama, she had a piano. My OG folks always say we was the only people from the ghetto with a baby grand piano. My grandma gave us the piano. So from a young age, I was banging on that piano. Yeah. My mama was performing, singing and dancing. We used to have parties in our Kennedy Manor apartment. We used to have live drums, piano. The church people would come Sunday night from church, and they would turn it to the grown folks party.
That's what it is. These say the grown folks party. So I guess that's probably where you get the red light room from.
That's because we start rapping and we used to rap under the red light and get high off the drum. And then, you know, from then on, when I moved to this other particular place, it had red carpet, it had red blinds, and of course I bought the red light. I always just liked that the red light got one now, you know what I mean? Because it's sexy or something. Red, my favorite color. I don't know if it's gang affiliation from back in the day or whatever, though, but just I like red, so hence the red light room. It's on all the time. I don't smoke no weed or nothing no more though, but it's just something about it with your eyes when you high, it feel good. You know what I mean?
Now that's something right there when you just said you don't smoke weed no more. And throughout the interview you talked about getting older and more mature and things like that. What was the turning point for you to actually stop smoking weed?
Well, that's pretty simple too. It was just the fact of me feeling. It started with Black and Miles actually, because I was smoking Black and Miles, and I just felt something in my chest one day. It just felt like my chest. It was just tight. My heart wasn't right. I knew it, and you know, us as brothers, we don't really stop doing something bad until we get slapped on the head. We don't just never stop because we should or because it's bad for us. Mm-hmm. We just stop when either the doctor tell you or you get sick or something. And, you know, when you feel something, anything that messes with your wind and your breathing, that just ain't cool. You know what I mean? And I felt it in my chest, and I left them blacks alone. I still felt it. Then I said, oh, it's these cheap swishers, these white cats or whatever. And I went to joints, and then one day I rolled a fat joint, and it sat in my ashtray for like 3 days, and I just said, I'm just wasting my time, man. And I just said, forget it, man. I'm cool. I kind of just quit, man. It just happened over. It just happened for nothing, really, though.
That's a bet. That's a bet. Now,
but it save a player when you do the math, though. 3 sacks a day for 1 month is $1,000. So if you ain't got nowhere to live and you smoking 3 sacks a day, there go your apartment right there in that blunt.
You heard me? Say it again. 3 sacks a day, 10, 20, 30, times 30. You know what I mean? 900 all day. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. They need to get it together. That's
For
what it
real.
sounds
Now
like.
let's really afford it.
For real, you know what I mean? Hey, now throughout that, throughout that turning point, you know what I mean? You also say that, you don't even really too much indulge in the alcoholic beverages. What was that all about?
Well, because I've since the purple powder and pills era, players just kind of been destroying itself, and then, I found out I got high blood pressure the other day. So now I'm just trying to live a healthy. I want to really get saved and really give my life to God, but at the same time, I'm still a young player, and I believe it's a way to do that and live good and righteous without having to just be all the way square. You know what I mean? It's never a wrong time to do the right thing. And then, like I said, I kind of destroyed my body at a young age, and now it's kind of like if you got a car and you've been doing donuts in it, and she's been running for you for 20 years, but you've been dogging her donuts, skidding on her and just dogging her. Now it's time to clean her up, wash her, paint her, and put her in the car show. You feel me? That's what I've been did to my body. I done ran donuts on it. You feel me? Drove it up the hill, flipped it over, and it's still running for me. So while it's still running, now it's time to clean it up. Because the player getting older, bro, and I look at my grandma, 82, I look at my mama, 63, they still kind of vibrant and beautiful. So I know that longevity is in my family, but at the rate that I was going, I was going to eliminate my longevity. You feel me? So I want to live to be 80, 90, because I got a 2-year-old daughter, man, and a 21-year-old girlfriend, man. So I got some time I need to give, man.
Indeed. That's what it's all about. You feel what I'm talking about? Hey, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Now, I know you got a lot of shouts outs and things like that. The 24-hour network radio station is your station. So, feel free to say and do as you please at this time. It may be a lot of different artists that you're working with that you may want people to, get up on and things like that. Let the world know how they could go to be able to tap into some of those different resources that you may speak on. So grab your pens, people.
Yeah. Well, I do a lot of work with my big sis Tequila and On Lock Music Group. Royce Bashine, he's a great manager, and he can get us all to the world. I work with real heavy my little bro Jason Drisker. That boy just can't stay out of jail. I love him a lot, though, but he going back and forth. Got to go do 24 days. He doing a lot of stuff, how to help you get your music videos on MTV, VH1, and whatnot. And then I got D-Ski and UTV, little brother, little Rick. You feel me? That's all my folks and my part of my circle. D-Ski, Daniel LaMille, Lil Rick. They all can be reached. My friends list on my Facebook, and I got Brian Bickham, my other little brother, half of my group, Project Celebrities. Got the album Messimore Presents Project Celebrities, came out in '08. Let's see, that's pretty much it. My circle is pretty small. I definitely want to give a shout out to my home turf, the Manor Boys out there in Rich City. I wouldn't be nothing without them. You know what I mean? That's what gave me the circle and cycle of life. You know what I mean? 30 years out of 38 I did over there, so got to give it up to them. And then other than that, man, I'm just maintaining the campaign and trying to have a few things, man. I shout out to the world. Definitely, without God, it wouldn't be nothing. You know what I mean? So all the glory to Him.
Indeed. Hey, this Bennie Owens right here, man, something like a pimp. Y'all hearing it in the background. You know what I mean? Right now, we finna turn it up on the 24-hour network radio. Your main man, E-Feeds, Bennie Owens. You feel what I'm talking about? We out.